Hi friends, welcome back to the channel and welcome to the long-awaited Twilight vlog. Definitely very much needing a little bit of escapism today, and I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be so honest with you. I have not picked up a book since the new month started, and it's the 5th. I just have been going through it mentally, and when that happens with me, I really need something that's a little bit of a heavier distraction for me. Reading doesn't quite dissociate me enough. And my favorite game of all time, Stardew Valley, just got an update for the Switch, which is where I prefer to play it. So I have spent the last 2 days on this couch on my Switch, ignoring responsibilities and just immersing myself in the farming grind, but it's been long enough. It's November. I just feel like Twilight is going to be the perfect kind of read. It's not going to be too difficult to kind of get into. It's just going to be a fun time. So I will say I did start reading it on Halloween, I believe. So I do have a little bit of footage from that, and I'm about 60 or 70 pages in. Already obsessed. Already just bringing back all of the nostalgic vibes. Now for some background, this is my first time ever reading the books. I was a Harry Potter kid. I was not a Twilight kid. And the time period, the age that I was when this came out, it was prime time for me to be reading this. I am sad that I missed out on it because I was too cool for it. And I didn't get the vampire thing. Now in my 30s, I get the vampire thing, and I want to revisit this and just say that I read it. I feel like it's such an important part of millennial culture that I want to read the series officially. So the writing is not anything like super extravagant, right? It's very readable and palatable because it's made for teenagers, right? So, but right off the bat, I just think this is such an integral part of that teenage headspace. It's on point. Like, Stephanie Meyer knew what she was doing with the angst and the attitude and the emo vibes. It just made sense. There's a reason why so many people were so drawn to this, and I can just already feel that by reading this. So I'm very excited for this experience, and I'm excited to take you along with me. So this week I want to just have a few reading sprints where I get a bunch of that done in between my Stardew Valley gaming sessions, because that's all I can think about right now. The hyperfixation is very real, but I need to take screen breaks from it. I need to get up and like do something else. That's kind of the plan. Thank you so much for being here on this journey, and I'm excited. I'm hoping that I can also get a hold of at least the first movie, and I'm hoping that I can maybe find some DVDs at the thrift. So I think we're gonna probably do some of that in this vlog as well. And we're also on the hunt for the Breaking Dawn, the final copy, in a paperback that matches my others. So I think we're gonna be doing that in this vlog. We're gonna be getting ourselves a little treat, because I really need it. I need the mental health boost right now. I'm hoping that this kind of brightens my spirits, and I hope that you guys enjoy it too. not the modem and the dial-up. It just ages me. Like, this makes me feel so old. That's insane. I just forgot that it was so long ago, 2005. Next year, it will be 20 years since this book was published. And that just makes me feel something. In 2005, I started high school. So I was a freshman. So I just forget that. I guess that makes sense. That's when we had the one home family computer. I had a Nokia phone, and it's just crazy. It just really like takes me back. I forgot like how old these books were. So very much enjoying it. I just read the part where Bella meets Jacob. He tells her about the werewolves of his tribe and the vampires, basically. And then she has a dream about like the werewolves and vampires and Edward and all this stuff. She's still just as emo as ever. Reading this is also really making me want to plan a trip to go out to the Pacific Northwest. But I did grow up kind of going to like the California, Oregon coast, which is quite similar to Washington coast. Not quite as cold and like rugged, but very similar. I think a lot of people don't realize that a lot of the California coast is not like sunny, warm palm trees. The entire north half of California beaches are actually quite the more quintessential like Pacific Northwest, with like rocks and misty and a little bit chillier. That's the ocean and the beach that I grew up on, and it's really making me want to drive out to Washington. I haven't been out to the coast in a while, and that might be something that I tell my partner that I want to prioritize. What I'm really trying to do is get him to go to Disneyland with me, but that is proving to be difficult. Sorry for my heater, but it's freezing. It's about to kick on. This is making me so nostalgic. Like the girls going to go dress shopping for like the homecoming. It's not homecoming, but it's some spring dance. And Bella's like, I'm gonna go find a bookstore, because she has no iPhone to just like Google a bookstore. And it's like, I'll meet you there in an hour, because they don't have like cell phones like that. I don't know like why in this book specifically that's just like hitting me. I think I'm just like relating to Bella a lot. And it's just making me like nostalgic, because that was just like my high school experience. And I don't know. It just makes me kind of feel sappy about it. Oh my god, I'm flying through this, by the way. I just read like 100 pages like it was nothing. I got to the iconic paragraph about 3 things I was absolutely positive. First, Edward was a vampire. Second, there was a part of him, and I didn't know how potent that part might be, that thirsted for my blood. And third, I was unconditionally and irrevocably in love with him. Girl! Cue Taylor Swift, so high school. I love it. That's about halfway at this point. And I guess the plan is I'm going to finish it this weekend for sure, because of how easy, like how quick this is going and how easy of a read it is, you know? But yeah, I didn't find a Breaking Dawn paperback. Like I showed you guys the clips of Goodwill. All 3 of the ones I already own in paperback, and then a Midnight Sun and a Breaking Dawn in hardcover. It's like the world is against me. I don't know what's up with the publication of that. It's so bizarre. It's 4 o'clock and like already getting dark, of course, and I'm just hitting that like 4 o'clock winter sleepiness. So I might make like a cup of tea or something, because I really hate napping, but I could really go for a nap right now. But that's just yeah. Apparently I don't have any chai. I only have vanilla chai, and I didn't want to do vanilla and pumpkin and chai. So we're going pumpkin. This is very Edward lighting, isn't it? It is very early. The sun is coming in. Filtered vitamin D and feeling very Edward. Very vampiric. So I do have a reading update, so let's do that. It says, good morning. Okay, I got myself together a little bit here. Let's talk about it, shall we? Because this is getting me out of my reading slump that I have been in, and I'm very happy about that. It's funny because, like I said, it's not nostalgic for the reason of like, I read this before and it's reminding me of that, but I just think that the way that Stephenie Meyer is like portraying this 17-year-old like infatuation that Bella has for Edward is just so relatable to me. I think it's so realistic. Like the fact that she is just like, I'm obsessed with you. All I think about is you. I want to live in your skin. Like, I don't care if it kills me. I don't care if you're dangerous. I don't care if you're telling me to stay away. Like, I'm obsessed with you. I just think that that's such a realistic, like, portrayal. This, for me, that's how I was as a teenager. I just read the part where basically Edward takes Bella to the forest, like drives her out of town by himself. She is, again, this is something I totally would have done. I would have been like, yeah, I trust you. Let's go out of town, and I'm not going to tell my dad where I'm going. And you're telling me that, like, you're dangerous around me and you shouldn't be around me. But yeah, drive me out of city limits with no cell phones, you know, because it's 2005 and that's like not really the way that it worked. So he takes her out and like to that big like meadow and just basically shows her why he can't go out in the sun and all this stuff. And I don't know how many pages it was. It felt like 50 pages of just them talking. Well, tell me. Well, I want to know. Well, I can't read your mind. Well, I can read your mind, but I can't. Oh, well, I want to know this. Answer me this question. I want to know this about you. No, tell me. No, I shouldn't. Well, tell me anyway. It just felt so like, again, just relatable to me. When I was a teenager like that, I remember staying up literally all night, like 6 a.m. on my T9 Nokia cell phone, like texting my boyfriend at the time, like talking constantly. And then I would like sleep for 2 hours, go to school, and then be like in almost every class together, every break, like inseparable. I just feel like it portrays that so accurately. And I don't know, I just relate to it. I think it's funny. I'm finding it very entertaining. I think it's sweet. Of course, it's the cheesy, like, you're my, what's the line?
You're like my own personal brand of heroin.
Just crazy. And now she's like, yeah, I'm in love with you. Like, I love you. Like, let's go meet I'm gonna go meet your vampire parents. So that's where I'm at right now. Bella she's about to go to the Cullens, which I can picture in my mind from the movie so vividly, like the mid-century modern house that they have. A gorgeous house, perfection house for me. Like, that's my dream. I'm hoping that I'll just be able to finish this today. I think I have like 100 pages or so. It's still early in the day. It's Sunday. I also have to say, I am pleasantly surprised that I don't find the writing to be like really cringe hard to read. Like, I actually, like, Edward is kind of funny. Like, it's kind of like a few of the things that he says, like, I'm genuinely like chuckling at. And yes, it's YA drama, like immaturity sometimes. I want something just fun and a little bit trashy at the moment, and it's giving it. It's giving it. I already know that I'm Team Edward just from the movies and stuff, but I am interested. I'm very much looking forward to getting that Jacob storyline and what's going to happen with these two, because now they're officially together. 300 pages in and they're finally just now getting together, but it didn't feel like that. I mean, I'm kind of like, okay, ready for it now. But I'm like, they just kissed, they just got together, and it's 300 pages in. And I'm like, okay, I'm seated now. I love a looks young and is really actually old supernatural man. Always have, always will. It's working in that way for me. I'm going to be basically reading this today, finishing it. That's definitely something I need to do so that I can get all these clips together and start editing the vlog. My Dark Academia video just went up this morning. And I'll definitely be doing some gaming because it's a Sunday and that's my usual routine. I'm doing some meal prep. I'm gonna bake some bread, prep some stuff for the week, my usual things. So I'll check in with you guys. Let's see how many pages this actually is. So I'm on page 323. Oh my God, it's almost 500 pages. I really want to finish this today though. I mean, it goes really fast, you know, like 100 pages in this is nothing. I've just been really in a slump. Like I have not been reading at all. It's already what, the 10th? And I don't think I've finished a book this month at all. I haven't actually. And I want to finish this so that I can honestly go on to the next one. So I'm excited about it. So, whoa, that's the plan. It is official. We have finished Twilight and we are going right into New Moon. I have heard this one is more Jacob, which honestly I could care less about. I know I'm Team Edward all the way, and that will continue to be the case. I also put a note in my phone last night about this. This is like a very specific turn of phrase that I love when authors use, and she described Edward as having a mercurial mood. That's a bonus point for me. I am a very mercurial being myself, and I love that turn of phrase, and I get that kind of description, so I love that. I was like, yes, that is the kind of stuff that I like to see. I'm just gonna continue riding the Twilight train. That might kind of get me through the month, to be honest. So my final thoughts on Twilight. If I'm being honest, quality-wise, you know, plot-wise, it's probably like a 3. My enjoyment-wise, probably more like a 4-star. So I don't know how I'm gonna rate it, honestly, because it's just such a like, I feel like it's the same when you like reread like a middle grade book from your childhood. The rating is not the same, right? And I kind of treat this like that. So my enjoyment level was definitely there. I wasn't a huge fan of the kind of, you know, third act like conflict with like the tracker who basically crashes their baseball game and then gets a sniff of Bella, sees that they're trying to protect her, and then just like locks on her, and he's like, I'm gonna kill her now. And you're like, okay, that's like convenient. Like that's easy to say. I don't know, I didn't love that whole thing. I was kind of like, this is stupid. But you know, it is what it is. Girl, you really are gonna lie to these vampires, the only people who can potentially protect you in this situation, and run off by yourself? Like, that's why people call you stupid. Teens, or 33-year-olds,
I'm down with the kids.
will relish this new adventure, hunger for more, piles on the suspense, romance and action. So we're continuing on. I need to start editing this vlog, do some work for my Monday, as much as I want to sit here and start this book and play Stardew. Like I said, I've been trying to do weekly vlogs, so you'll see more Twilight in the coming videos. I'm just gonna start uploading these clips and editing this vlog, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.